Hello everyone, this is my week 44 recap. And throughout this week, again, didn't have anything major that happened during any of my meditations. I had a couple things that happened uh, uh, that gave me some clarity on a few issues that I had, um, as most of this year has. On the 27th of September, my daughter got sick, and this happened in February. That same thing where um, she was throwing up, and she had a diarrhea. And when this happened in February, and because of my again my mystery illness of my abdomen, and um, I was very fearful of it, and I felt like that's why um, I got sick as well, and uh, and I was doing almost everything I could think of to not like throw up, and all this fighting that I was doing was actually just making everything worse, and I got so bad that I had passed out, and I got very lucky that I didn't hurt myself when I passed out. My wife was, kind of dragging me off of our little gazelle that we have, and I happened to hit the steps. I mean, the little plastic steps, and ours is a not the kind that you normally see, the little flimsy kind. Ours was a real thick stationary kind, so I really could have hit my head pretty hard on it. Um, so I had a lot of fear going into that. And so when my daughter got sick this time, I kind of knew that I was different this time around, and I wasn't carrying that same type of fear going into it. So on the next day, um, on the 28th, I was okay at work. It was on that Friday. And that afternoon, when I got off of work, I felt it coming on, and I was getting very, very sick. And I felt like this time I took it on myself, and I almost knew it. I said, I'm gonna show that I've changed this time around. And I just felt like I just allowed the sickness to just kind of flow through me. And I said, just it's almost like do your worst, almost. But I really was just not really thinking in a negative standpoint. I was um, just kind of watching it. I was just like, well, I'm here, and I'll just go with the flow and just do it, whatever, uh, whatever happens, happens, and of course I did throw up, and I had a lot of diarrhea, and it was a complete cleansing of my body, and but this time, it was without any of the fear that was associated with that. Um, so so I was really pretty proud of myself. The other interesting thing that I learned from that I learned from my daughter was, and um, I've been guilty of this, is um, the importance of empathy over sympathy, and um, or just not feeling at all. Like for example, I know that uh, my love for my daughter is about as close to, I feel like, unconditional love that I have for anyone. And I know when my wife is sick, I don't feel like I have been as as empathetic to her as I should be. And sometimes, you know, you just get in this mindset of you when you're living with somebody for a long time. It's just like, oh, come on, stop complaining, stop making a big deal out of, you know, of it, and really not having a lot of empathy uh, for that other person, not understanding where they are. Um, and I think with my daughter, you know, because you know, she's so little, you know, she's 2 years old, you just can't help but to, you know, just, you know, you feel, you know, again, I don't want to say I feel sorry for her because it's not that type of feeling. It's just, you know, it's just kind of like, oh, I see that you're having a hard time. But at the same time, understanding that, you know, it wasn't anything serious. We did take her to the doctor and there was nothing serious. So it was just kind of like, I understand this is a hard time, but having full confidence that she was going to get through it. And it's a different type of feeling than sympathy, where it's just you kind of feel so sorry for them and you feel like they're just, I don't know if you know, I guess you're expecting the worst out of that. Whereas empathy, you kind of still expect the best, but you understand where they are. Um, and I understood the difference there, and then I started realizing that not only, first of all, I wasn't showing that to my wife, which when she got sick, I definitely did this time. I mean, it was something that I said, okay, I see it, so if I see it, then I need to act on that knowledge and do it and change. And so, you know, that's kind of the lessons that I'm learning this year. And so I did, and I was very empathetic for my wife. It was very easy because I was sick about the same time, and so we kind of had to kind of almost take turns, you know, taking care of my daughter. I mean, we were both doing it at the same time, you know, but but at least I was just empathetic for when she was throwing up too, because of course I had been throwing up was throwing up before her. And of course, my wife is also pregnant, so you know, it also puts more empathy uh, towards the situation as well. Um, but I also had a lot of empathy for myself. I find that you know when you know I a lot of times, especially this mystery illness that I had, that I almost expect so much of myself, and I'm not showing myself the same type of empathy. Uh, I'm kind of, you know, almost kind of, again, sympathetic for myself, you know, feeling sorry for myself. Um, and it's just the wrong attitude. So, just something that I learned this week. And the only other thing I learned was, you know, on October 1st, I think it was this morning, just kind of, you know, redefining terms, you know, that's all it was, is just realizing you just need to allow things to change you sometimes. And that's kind of, I think, the motto of this week is just, you know, that's, you know, after all that happened, you know, that sickness and everything, I just kind of allowed that situation to just kind of change me. You know, I saw what I was doing before, that it just, you know, it wasn't ideal, and started to make that change to a more empathetic person. So again, that's really it for this week. You know, so again, thank you everyone for watching, and take care.